What you have to consider when keeping budgies outdoors. An outdoor aviary in the garden is certainly nicer for our beepers than a living room with walls and furniture. Mine have to make do with a secured open-air loggia, which they are allowed to use in the warm season. Budgies, cockatiels, Burke parakeets, and rosellas are Australians, and there are no winters there like we do. In our latitudes, however, they've been bred for a very long time, and they have adapted to our climate. They are robust enough and can therefore easily be kept outside even in winter. However, there are some important points to consider when keeping outdoors. Hello, and welcome to Wellness and Happiness Birdies channel. The beepers cannot simply be placed in front of the door in a normal indoor aviary. This is only possible in summer for a few hours, because they also need a lot of free flight, and that cannot be offered outside. Outdoor keeping is associated with some effort. It requires good planning, work, and a not too small financial investment to accommodate the beepers in a species-appropriate way. You need a large outdoor aviary with at least 4 square meters, although I think that's a bit too small for the beepers to have enough space to fly. You also need a shelter for the winter and summer heat. Such construction measures usually require a building permit, which can vary from place to place, no matter what material you want to use. You can either buy such an aviary or build it yourself. It can be built from hard, untreated wood with stainless steel or aluminum wiring. Galvanized mesh is toxic to the birds, and rabbit hutch wire is too sharp-edged. Soft spruce wood is poorly suited. It is gnawed by the beepers. If you want to treat the wood so that it stays beautiful for longer, use food-safe toy paint or non-toxic paint. The grid spacing should not be more than 1.5 centimeters, and the grid must not be sharp-edged so that the beepers cannot displace. There must be no pointed ends sticking out at the edges of the grid. Many holders therefore cover the inner edges with perforated sheeting. This also counteracts the rodent instinct. It is best to use double stringing to effectively protect the beepers from rats, martins, weasels, or cats that could shimmy through the grid. Since rats and martins also dig, the aviary should also be protected from below. That brings us to the floor. Concrete floor is easy to clean and keeps rats and martins out. Exposed concrete slabs are also a good alternative that allow the water to drain well. If you want to plant the aviary, you can place non-toxic shrubs and trees in large pots in the aviary. Some keepers prefer natural ground, with or without grass. Of course, this is also possible. For this you have to lay a close-meshed grid half a meter underground, which you pull up at the edge to the aviary so that complete protection is given. You can plant the aviary nicely over it. This floor has to be renewed or dug up from time to time, as it is not so easy to clean. The aviary should be covered, preferably 1/3 with double plexiglass that lets the sun through, and 2/3 with wood and roofing felt or other that protects against rain, and especially from the droppings of wild birds to avoid diseases. If the roof is slanted, the rain runs off better. In addition, a bathing facility with fresh water should be available. What is also very important is a lock, because when you open the door, no beeper should be able to escape unnoticed. The best way to integrate this lock is in the shelter. There it can also serve as a storage room for food and other utensils. What should such a shelter look like? It must be large enough to give the beepers enough space to fly, even in bad weather. Whether you build a hut out of wood or other material is up to you. Good insulation is important so that it stays warm in winter. Some still cover the inside with plexiglass so that the beepers cannot gnaw holes in the insulation. A power connection for a frost monitor, which keeps the internal temperature at least 10 degrees, should definitely be available, with a good cladding made of wire, against burns. The power cables also have to be laid in cable ducts. Since the beepers require a lot of light, windows are absolutely necessary, preferably secured with stickers or a grill, so that they do not fly against the glass. The shelter should be equipped with a door to the outdoor aviary, which has an exit and entry opening that is just large enough for them to pass through unhindered, and that can be locked. The shelter and outdoor aviary should be well equipped with natural branches and swings, so that there are enough climbing and play opportunities, but also enough space to fly. You don't build the aviary on the cold north or west side of the house. It is best facing south, protected from wind and weather. Ideally, it is half under trees or bushes that provide shade and offer some protection. That's when your beepers feel most comfortable. When are the parakeets allowed to move in? Of course, not when it's already too cold outside. They cannot tolerate moving them from the warm room to the cold aviary. They have to be adjusted slowly. The warm summer months are best suited for this, from mid-May to mid-September, when the weather is nice. Then they can get used to it well, and don't catch a cold. The beepers should be able to choose for themselves whether they want to play in the shelter or outside. On beautiful sunny days, you'll be able to watch them chirping happily outside in the snow. They love it. Did you like the video? Every Friday, there is a new video. Subscribe and you'll be back. Bye. And stay healthy.